Product not yet rated.
Have you ever wondered what your minions get up to when you're not looking? Well, we trained a camera on one lowly schmuck for 24 hours, then cut out the boring bits while they were just sleeping or talking about their feelings. Take that, Love Island. The life of a minion must seem very small to you. Hovering up there with your manager's eye view, you probably assume their existence to be short, stupid, and brutal, like one of those spiders that gets eaten after intercourse. But incredibly, some minions have lived long enough to display what you might call habits, or even hobbies. Scientists speculate that they could, in the future, be classed as an intelligent species. Though Zalika is concerned, you might have to pay them more if that happens, so don't hold your breath. In the meantime, come with us as we observe a single minion at work and play. Mainly work, if we're honest. The casino is for guests. Oh, and if you're a guest, we'll invite you to subscribe to the channel for more videos and info on Evil Genius 2. If it relates to the theft of a major landmark or the bamboozling of a secret service, you'll hear about it here first.
Interrogation success.
6 a.m. Minions get up a little earlier than their bosses, not to prepare anything, but to create a sense of bustling activity. An evil overlord likes to feel as if they're running a real operation, where things are just happening, even if, in reality, the minions are just buffing the floor with their shoes. Our minion of choice, named Nora, likes to take an anti-clockwise route through the corridors of her base each morning. She throws in the occasional change of direction to look like somebody with lots of jobs competing for her attention. In reality, she's just singing Bohemian Rhapsody under her breath on repeat. Most days, this goes on for about an hour. Any way the wind blows. Well, with that chunk of time successfully wasted, Nora gets down to the most unpleasant job of the day, cleaning out the Lair Builder 5000. If you've ever untangled hair from the brush of a Hoover, imagine maintaining a machine that slurps up body bags and spews out nuclear reactors. Trust us, the magic doesn't just happen. Nobody knows where stuff goes once it's sucked into the 5000, whether it's more like a bag of holding or an alternate dimension where it rains dead agents. All Nora knows is that there are green glowing fingers trapped in the gears, and there won't be any building today unless somebody pulls them out. It's just as well the geniuses don't offer employees any breakfast, because that would be spewed out at this point too. 9:30 a.m. It's easy to forget that not all the traps on an island are of a mechanical nature. Some of them have organic elements that need to be nurtured and pampered, like the sharks that live in an underfloor tank. Today, Nora is going to feed them with... Gosh, is that really how it's done? I assumed she'd just chuck in a handful of fish or something. But no, that's a much more direct approach. Best turn the cameras off. 11 a.m. Right, well that's being sorted out. Let's hit the gym with the guards. Did you know that evil geniuses force their minions to pay for their own uniforms? It's not the kind of villainy that makes the headlines, but it does take its toll. Your standard guards are on a third of the salary of the mercenaries. Genuinely, you can check the wiki and everything. That doesn't leave much budget for orange jumpsuits. Instead, they rely on hand-me-downs, sewing together outfits from the sleeves the Rambo types aren't using. Now you might think guards bulk up so that they can fight off agents and perform their duties to a higher physical standard, but it's mainly so that they can fill out the shoulders of the inherited suits. It's either that or deliberately shrink the clothes in the wash, which is a dangerous game, especially when there are things living in the water. It's 2 p.m. Thanks to Zalika's cloning technology and a questionable clause in Nora's contract, we've got an identical replacement. This one's called, well, Nora. Whether she's the same person as before is a matter for priests and philosophers. The important thing is that the incident has had minimal impact on the schedule. Now that's efficiency. Sorry if efficiency sounds a bit insensitive right now. At 3:15 p.m, the order comes down, and it's great news. Nora's been selected to run a scheme in the snow-covered northeastern Patriot states. The job is to distract the world from Zalika's crimes by draining a new superport of all its water. The bad news is that Nora had a recent traumatic experience with water and is supposed to drain the port using nothing but a straw. Oh, and she's never coming back. I don't really fancy her chances. According to Evil Genius 2's world map, the northeastern Patriot states aren't home to even a single habitable building. Still, we wish her well. By 5:45 p.m, our next Nora is apprehending a saboteur. She employs a policing technique that would be frowned upon in many parts of the world, punching and kicking the perpetrator until they agree to be her prisoner without chance of bail or release, ever. As Nora tucks the invader into their cell, she can't help but notice, not for the first time, that it's a nicer bedroom than the one she has. Look, there's even an ensuite bathroom. and toilet roll. No luxury spared for a prisoner of war, apparently. Consolation comes at 6:30 p.m. with an opportunity to interrogate the prisoner, an unpleasant character named Richard Beefs. He might sound like an actor from the Royal Shakespeare Company in the 1960s, but when he promises to bring the house down, he means it. Despite her personal history, Nora is more than willing to engage in water torture, by which I mean sticking a wet finger in a man's ear and wiggling it around. It's a horrifying prospect, and I'd love to be able to show you this technique in action, but the producers are in my ear telling me it's simply too graphic. At 7 p.m, Nora heads to the canteen to gossip with her friend Andrew about their day's events. The trouble is, minions don't have an awful lot of distinguishing physical features, and they even struggle to tell each other apart. Maybe Andrew's the bloke over there in the yellow onesie? Or that chap in the shiny hard hat? Oh no, wait, that's literally everyone. Nora ultimately settles for a chinwag with someone who may or may not be Andrew. I suppose those details start to seem a bit less important once you've been cloned a few times. 8:15 p.m. Obviously, we're the anthropologists here, looking in on the life of a creature best described as Homo sapiens if it were a bit thick. But it turns out Nora likes people watching too. With all her jobs done, she turns her attention to the technicians running between the labs and worn-out generators. They have a very distinctive gait, like a servant in a Hammer horror film, or a giraffe, if giraffes were terrific nerds. Sometimes, after enough study, it occurs to Nora that the technicians move in patterns, as if beholden to a limited set of animations, or controlled by the AI of some computer game company. Then she realises that she's been up for far too long and her brain's starting to get all fuzzy. No cause for rebellion here. By 10 p.m, Nora is ready for bed. Whether her bed is ready for her is another question. The barracks are subject to a complex spreadsheet that determines who sleeps where on a shifting hourly basis. Would it be simpler to just let the minions pick a bed and stick with it? Well, yes, definitely. But Zalika believes the current hotbed system promotes a healthy sense of uncertainty that leaves minions less sure of themselves and more likely to obey dangerous instructions. They didn't tell Nora that, of course. All Nora knows is that she got the top bunk this time, so today was a good day. For this Nora, at least. We hope you've gained some insight here into the life of the Minion, which is French for cute. And they are sort of cute, aren't they? Buzzing around according to your orders. Oh. Just don't get too attached or you'll get all upset when they keel over. They're a lot like owning a gerbil in that way. If you'd like to see the view from the top of the hierarchy, make sure to watch our day in their life documentaries about Maximilian and Zalika, two evil geniuses who would certainly never spend this much time thinking about minions. That's why they need you to control their affairs and steer them to world domination in Evil Genius 2, which is out now on PC and coming to consoles soon. Have a lovely time in your tropical paradise of power, and we'll see you soon.